Protests against federal immigration raids have gone into their fifth day. Trump administration is sending 700 Marines to the city.
And President Trump ordered the deployment of 2,000 more California National Guard troops, making for a total of 4,000 over the objections of Governor Gavin Newsom, who was challenging the action in court. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene for us there in L.A. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Robin. It is entirely possible that by the end of today, we will see nearly 5,000 combined California National Guard and Marines deployed here in Southern California. The question is, where will they be housed? Where will they be sent? As you mentioned, California Governor Gavin Newsom insisting they are not needed here. And last night, we were out here just outside this federal complex watching an overwhelming number of local law enforcement break up protests of about several hundred people here much more quickly than they had in previous nights. Overnight, hundreds of police in riot gear facing down protesters for a fourth consecutive night of clashes. The administration now making the unprecedented move of dispatching 700 active duty Marines to the streets of Los Angeles and increasing the California National Guard presence to over 4,000. Throughout much of the day, a quiet tension had settled over the city. That didn't stop the administration from bypassing the governor, who said he did not ask for this support and doesn't want it.
You can see how much smoke is being deployed on the other side by the LAPD. That is, these officers are moving people away from the federal building. You can see federal law enforcement there and California National Guard, and there's skirmishes right up and down this street with law enforcement.
This protester, Addie, says she's been out on the protest lines for 4 consecutive days now.
Why is this personal for you?
It's personal for me. I was undocumented once. I came to this country when I was 5 years old. I've lived here without an identity until I was 20 years old. Thanks to my mother, thanks to my grandmother, who came here and led the way, I've been able to have a successful career.
And overnight, California Governor Gavin Newsom mocking the deployments.
The absurdity of this cannot be understated. There were 2,000 National Guard that were, quote unquote, deployed, of which only 315 actually were mission assigned. 1,700 have no particular role or responsibility.
Embattled LA Mayor Karen Bass warning that Trump might be using LA as a trial run for other cities.
A test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government. I don't think that our city should be used for an experiment. Well, maybe we can do this to other cities.
Earlier in the day, the president suggesting that Newsom should be happy he sent in the military, that Southern California was a, quote, mess. He even suggested it might be a good idea if his border czar, Tom Homan, arrested the California governor.
I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great.
When asked by our Karen Travers what crime Newsom has committed to warrant arrest, the president responding,
I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job.
Newsom in a post on X writing, Donald Trump admits he will arrest a sitting governor simply because he ran for office. I asked border czar Tom Homan about the feud.
This morning, the president said arresting Gavin Newsom is a great idea.
The governor's backing me.
That's what you should be doing.
The president's backing me up. If you violate the law, and he knows better than anybody. He's the president of the United States, and they arrested him.
Homan overseeing part of the federal response on the ground from Los Angeles. The administration recently slamming protesters for concealing their faces with masks. Critics arguing ICE agents have been concealing their identities using face coverings and unmarked vans.
Why don't you ask me why the protesters are wearing masks? Why are they wearing masks? To hide their identities because they don't want to go to jail.
Correct. But they're protesters are not employees of the federal government.
Our officers are wearing masks to protect themselves and their families.
Now, Homan also telling me that those ICE raids and arrests will continue night after night here in Los Angeles and elsewhere in the country, and that likely means more protests. And I wanted to give folks at home a sense of what we talk about when we speak of these non-lethal or less lethal rounds. This is one of those spongy rounds that's typically fired on the ground and sprays out at the legs of protesters. This is a 40-millimeter rubber-tipped round. Now, these are designed to hurt, but they're not designed to maim or to kill protesters. George.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much.